Okay, let's see if I can help you on this today. This is page 133, 1 through 9. This is your homework for today, and this is about square root functions. So you have y equals the square root of x is your parent function. If we put 0 in for x, we're going to get 0 for y. That square root is 0, 0. We put 1 in for x, we get the square root of 1 is 1. Put 4 in for x. So you want to put 4 because you wanted a perfect square. So square root of 4 is 2. So now we're going to plot these 3 points, which I did here, 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2. This is the parent function in each one of these. Okay, as you can see, I'm kind of moving in. I know I got shadowing, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, so now I want to graph. Next thing I want you to understand is that in general, just like the x squared parent function, there's the square root parent function. So if we multiply something times that square root, it either makes it bigger or smaller, depending on if it's positive or negative. If it's positive, it's just going to make it bigger or steeper, and if it's a negative, it flips it over. Okay, it just flips it down to the right. You're going to see that when we do these out. And then if you have x minus, that's your template, and if you have a plus positive here, it moves the function to the right, so it moves this right here, this called the first point, to the right. If it's x minus 2, it'd move it right 2. If it's x plus 2, it's going to move it left 2, because it's really x minus a negative 2. Then this k moves it up or down. So that's a positive k, that moves up 2. If that was a plus 2, it was a negative 2, it'd move down 2. So you're going to see this flips it over, so it goes like this, a positive. If that a is negative, it's going to flip it over down this way. So you're going to see that when we put values in. So let's do number 1. We'll put values in and we'll go from there. So you should be able to do each one of these. So if we put 0 in for x, we get 0. 2 times 0 is 0. Put 1 in for x, we get 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Put 4 in for x, we get the square root of 4, which is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So you get the 3.00, so the same point here. 1, 2, 1 to the right, 2 up, and then 4, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It just becomes a little steeper. See how that works? That's because of that 2. Okay, number 2, a half square root of x. So you go put 0 in for x. You get 0. 0 times a half is 0. Put 1 in. Square root of 1 is 1. 1 half times 1 is 1 half. Put 4 in. The square root of 4 is 2. Half times 2 is 1. So your 3 points are 0, 0. 1 a half. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it doesn't make it as steep. It makes it shallower. You think of it that way. Okay, this one, 5 times the square root of x. So this is kind of like this one, 2 square roots of x is just going to make it steeper. So if you look at this one, you put in 0 for x, you get 0. 0 times 5 is 0. Put 1 in for x, you get 1. Square root of 1 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. Put 4 into x, you get 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So your 3 points are, so I should have wrote this parent function is not correct based on this graph, but it is what it is. It goes by 2's instead of 1. So the parent function, should have been 0, 0. 1, 1 should have been here, and then 4, 2 should have been here. The parent function should have been here. I didn't see that. That's the parent function. It's in pen, so I can't erase it. And then this function is 0, 0, then 1 to the right, which is right here, 1, and then up 5. 1, 2, 4. 1, 5, 2, 4, 5 right here, and then 4 to the right, up 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 right here. So that's what that would look like. 5 times that. So that's why it's steeper. Now let's go to the next one. Put 0 in for x. Now you got to be really careful as you do these. 0 in for x, you get 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. Put 1 in for x, you get square root of 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Put 4 in for x, square root of 4 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So you get 0, 1. It just moves it up 1 because remember that's plus k. If we go back to this plus k, when that's a positive k, it moves it up. If it's negative, it moves it down, that first point. 1, 2 is right here, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's the same function, just moved up 1, okay? This one here, same thing, put 0 in for x, you get 0, 0 minus 4 is minus 4. Put 1 in for x, you get the square root of 1 is 1, 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Put 4 in for x, you get the square root of 4 is 2, 2 minus 4 is negative 2, so the 3 points are 0, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, negative 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2. So it's the same function, just moved down. Sorry, graph that right. Good enough right there. Okay, same function, parent function, just moved down for because you're adding a negative on the outside of the square root. All right, next one's, now this one's where you got to think of different x's. You can't just put 0 in. That's why I did this. You can't just put 0 in because it's going to give you a negative 1. You can't have a square root of a negative 1. So you got to think about, how can I get 0 underneath that? I got to put a 1 in for x, and that's going to be 1 minus 1 is 0. Square root of 0 is 0. Now, how do I get a 1? I got to put a 2 in for x. 2 minus 1 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. And then how do I get a 4 here? I got to put a 5 in for x. So if I put 5 in for x, 5 minus 1 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So that gives me my 3 points there. So 1, 0 is right here. 2, 1 is right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 is right here. So basically it just moves the function 1 unit to the right because you're adding 1 underneath the square root. It's a positive 1, so it just moves it to the right, that first point. Okay, same thing down here. Let me move this here so I can get it. Hopefully you can see it. So you got to think about, what do I put in for x to get 0 right here? I put in 3, so I got to change my x values to 3. First one would be 3, because if I put 3 in, I get 0. The square root of 0 is 0, minus 1 times 0 is 0. Then if I want to get 1 here, I got to put a 4 in for x. I get the square root of 1 is 1, so negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. And then I want this to be 4, so in order to get 4, I got to put 7 in for x. 7 in for x gives me 7 minus 3 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So my 3 points are 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, then 4, negative 1, and then 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 2. So what happens here is when you have a negative a, okay, it flips it over, and then this slides it 3 units to the right. So negative a flips it over, which, let me go back up here. Our negative a right here. So here's my negative a, so it flips it over like this, and then the goes down because of the moves the first point to the right 3 because that's a positive 3, and so that's how come it goes down, because of the negative. All right, so that's this last 2. So this is 2. Want to put a 2 in instead of 0. So if we put a 2 in for x right here, then we get 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So to get a 1 under here, I got to put a 3 in for x. 3 minus 2 is 1. The square root of 1 is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. And lastly, to get 4 here, I want to put 6 in for x. I put 6 in for x. 6 minus 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is... The square root of 4 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. So now I plot those 3 points. 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up 4 is right here. And then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get this function right like that, which just moves it right to, moves this point right to and up 3, because that goes right to, because it's x minus a positive 2, so right to, and then that makes it go up 3. That's how that works. And lastly, let's finalize this last one. So again, we can't put 0, 1, and 4 in because we want the square root to be 0, 1, and 2. So to get 0, I got to put 4 in for x. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 times negative a half is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So my first point is 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Next point. Now understand that's negative, so it's going to go down. Okay? So let's see how that works. I got to put a 5 in for x to get 5 minus 4 is 1. Negative a half times 1 is negative a half, plus 1 is a half. And hopefully you can understand that one. Redo it if you can't. And then to get 4 here, I got to put an 8 in for x. 8 minus 4 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Then negative a half times 2 is going to be negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So the points are 4, 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a half, and then 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 0. So this goes down like this. And that's it for page 134.